Pokemon Philosopher, Chapter 3, Part 6. And what I can assume is the arc finale of, well, Chapter 3, of course. You know, the Alchemon arc. So I figure it's that since this is probably the finale, I would just keep the intro in. I know that Esco did have the little update thing in place. They do like Pokemon, then a Thomas video, and then some more Pokemon, then a Thomas video, and some other stuff. I don't remember it all off the back of my head, so, but you know. Maybe some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff in between, but you know. Griffin of the Gale. I know, I saw the thing on the thumbnail. I know that half of it is Braviary, and I have no idea what the other half is. But anyway, backstory.
It starts with a common belief. In the beginning, when Arceus was all that existed, he would create the world's first Pokemon.
Besides himself.
Mew. The Mew species was the building blocks of the Pokemon race, and over millions of years they would adapt, change, and grow, and mutate into the many species of Pokemon that we're still discovering today. Arceus would create dozens, billions of Mew to inhabit the planet, to change and evolve, but there was one that was different. It couldn't shapeshift or change its DNA like the others. It could only change the DNA of others that weren't itself. Because of this defect, it was outcast from the rest of the Mew, and lived a lonely life.
So it became a Philosopher's Stone.
Sidelines as the rest of its kind changed, adapted, and mutated, becoming unrecognizable. The lonely defect wished that it could have this privilege,
That's
that it
sad.
could become more than just the faulty base that it was stuck as. But it could not. It could only change the form of others, not itself, so it would remain as its basis for the rest of its days. But little did it know that someone was taking pity on it.
Arceus.
From the heavens, Arceus watched the poor Pokemon. And, on its last day, as the defective Mew was just about to leave this world, Arceus granted it a great gift, something that it had wanted all of its life. A unique form, for it and it alone.
I was very thoughtful of the legendary. Taking pity on something so...
And so...
that's what the thing is in the
Mew
bottom of
had
the
risen
Phoenix.
from the ashes, reborn as a glorious Phoenix Pokemon. A form unique to them and them alone. Arceus had blessed the Pokemon as a legendary. The once defective Mew had become Velocirect, the Pokemon god of DNA.
Dang.
It was said to have the ability to change the
That's about an
DNA
upgrade.
of other Pokemon, allowing new species to be born. Its power to change and alter Pokemon DNA at will was extraordinary. It can even alter the DNA of humans. As the centuries flew by,
Incredibly
many
powerful
rumored
and
sightings
dangerous.
stories would appear involving this legendary Pokemon.
Thankfully, it's probably a
Are these
very
stories true?
calm Pokemon.
Well,
or something like that, you know, not
Who's to
dangerous.
say?
But could easily get it out of hand. Quite the backstory
Who's
for
to
the
say?
Mew.
I think this
And the region.
proves that the Pokemon is very much real. Oh, sorry, I just love adding some dramatic flair. I've done a few tours at the museum. Adds a bit more wonder to these kind of stories, you know? I see. So, do you think that these alchemy stones are related to this Pokemon, then? Without a doubt. Remember what I said earlier about many stories showing up about this Pokemon? Well, one of them said that whenever this Pokemon would leave behind its feathers, they would be buried deep within the earth, and after 100 years they would become crystallized, pure stone obtaining the Pokemon's essence.
Really?
Which is what I believe these alchemy stones are. A mere fraction of the Pokemon's endless DNA-altering abilities.
So that's what
No
the
wonder
stone
the
is.
professor would want this to be a secret.
It's
Not
incredibly
surprised,
valuable and most likely
considering
rare
all the
item.
other things he's covered up, like the rogue Alchemon incidents.
Especially considering it's
Okay.
locked to this
I mean,
region
I know
exclusively.
You guys at iPad are trying to cover them up, and I
Unless
know that
Esco makes
Professor
another
Nichols
sequel
has
series
already
and
gotten a
chooses
lot
to
of
bring Alchemon
complaints
back.
about
We
trainers
can never know
who
for sure.
Have Alchemon, but how is
Heck,
it that
even
nobody
Esco
else
probably
other than
doesn't
you
know.
have questioned him about this? I don't know. But I think it's about time that I confront him about it. I'll report my sightings to iPad, and after that, we'll see what happens. As for you, player, I want you to continue with your assignment. You've done a good job dealing with these rogue Alchemon so far, and if I'm not mistaken, there's only one left. As for you, William, thank you for your help. I'll make sure that iPad keeps their end of the deal. Oh, thank you, Sarah. The museum has been tanking lately. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But are you sure you're going to be okay? I'm worried about what Nicholas will do to you when you confront him. What's he gonna do? Call the police on me? iPad owns the police. I'll be set free in hours.
That won't make them corrupt at all,
and
but they
if
seem
something
to be a good
happens to you,
organization.
iPad will make sure that you're okay too. Come on, player. We've got dates to attend.
But I don't like you in that sort of way. Oh, you.
Well, this is it. Only
This
one
reminds
more
me of a
hour
bridge
to
in
go and it's
Galar.
happy hour. To get to its rumored location, however, we're going to have to cross the narrow bridges and dangerous terrain of Route 8. One bridge in particular will definitely give you the nerves. Not just because of the intense height, but also the many wild Pokemon that may ambush you while you're trying to cross it. So I hope.
Please
you
let there
don't
be a
have fear
Billy
of
Goat
heights.
Pokemon. Please let there be a
Speaking
Billy
of
Goat
Here are
Pokemon.
some of the new ones you can find on
Yes!
this route,
Goat
and here
Pokemon!
are
You
some
gotta
of
reference
the
the three
favorite
little
ones,
pig.
including a handful
Was
of
it the three Billy Goat
pseudo-legendaries
Scruff?
that you can encounter.
I got the
So,
Noibat,
make sure
Gibble,
to be careful.
Charmeleon,
However,
Braviary,
if you're
Pupitar,
daring enough to
Dreepy,
beat some of these wild Pokemon, you may
and
find
the,
some of your own are getting ready
Fire
to
Lion,
evolve.
whose name
So,
is escaping.
let's see who are
Pyroar,
the lucky ones
Pyroars.
today.
Oh, this thing's evolving. Ooh, that's a spoopy image.
Now,
I was thinking of
last
all the
episode, I
Cosmog,
introduced
not Cosmog,
Meteor and its
that
unique ability, Collision Course.
Meteor
If
doesn't.
it activates that ability 10 times in the same battle, however, it will evolve into this guy,
Dang.
Obsidior. the
That
Obsidian
sounds harder to
Pokemon.
do than
The
you
mysterious
expect.
energy within the Pokemon's body has grown and is beginning to leak
Like
out.
getting a Galarian
This, combined with
Pathagrigus,
its
it's
already
a bit more
indestructible
harder
armor,
and annoying than
makes
you
the
think.
Pokemon pretty powerful. Its new hands can be used like blades and can cut through pretty much anything. Even Tyranitar's indestructible skin stands no chance.
Damn! Jerusalem apart, piece by piece. Oh, that's cool.
At level 32, your Subsail will evolve into Croconaut, the submerged Pokemon.
Kind of reminds me of
usually
Baby
prefer to hunt their
Godzilla
prey
from the
in the
Heisei
water
era.
than on dry
Not like when it's
land.
an actual baby,
Using the
but like when
holes
it's
on their
well,
arms
maybe not
and
Baby
on their
Godzilla,
back,
Godzilla
they can
Jr. I
fire
should
out
say.
unstable bone particles as missiles. This can be
That's
used to
cool.
stun their prey from a distance while they go in for the kill. Because of how hostile and territorial they can be, fishermen will often advise to stay away from these Pokemon.
Oh, and our water starter. Oh, she got a nice final form.
Congratulations, because at level 36, your Sinaqua will have finally matured into Aquina.
I forget the name, but it
motion
reminds me of the
Pokemon.
jellyfish
The creature
Pokemon
has
from Gen
finally
7.
come out of its shell and is willing
Nahaligo
to
at
share
the top
its
of the
talents
head,
with the world. Even
And a
in
bit
the
of a
art of
marine
battle,
sauce
this
on the
Pokemon
bottom
will
to
move
put
with
Eevee in
such grace, catching the opponent
But
off
hey,
guard.
water
Only
electric,
to shock
nice
them
combo.
with its taser-like fins. This Pokemon gains the electric type, and a signature move called Taser Dance. Though not the strongest move,
Nice name.
it will give the Pokemon a free charge after its use.
Ooh,
If
nice.
you chose Nervish, I hope you're impressed with the final results. And don't forget to
She
check out
looks
the
cool.
other arcs
I'd
if
be
you want to
pleased.
find out what Bagrill and Butterpup evolve into. But for now, it's a good thing your Pokemon has evolved, because we're gonna need it considering where we're going.
Yeah. And the main.
This is the apparent location of the last Alchemon.
Yeah,
And if you somehow thought you were safe before,
You think I know it by
well,
now, 6
you might
in,
wanna
but you'd be
rethink that for
wrong!
this place. Mount Vibison is one of the 3 biomes of the region. I'll get into more detail about this location and the Pokemon you can find here in another video, since this one's already as long as it is. But if
Oh,
you
please,
wanna
imagine
find
if I was
that
still
last
doing all
Alchemon
in
around
one.
here, then you might
This thing
wanna
will be over an hour.
prepared.
Maybe even.
Especially
Well, I don't know
since there
about
are
2
many
hours,
reasons
but
and
getting to
many
2
ways
hours.
you can get yourself badly hurt,
Maybe.
if not killed. Rocky terrain, icy weather, And of course, Pokemon that can jump out of nowhere to attack you. Some of which I might as well show off while I have the chance. One of them is another veteran from the Kyoto region.
Huh.
Hammer, the
Good to see
Lightning
him.
Strike Pokemon. Not to be confused with Summon Skull's move. The move card from Dinosaur King. Anyway, this Hammer Pokemon, if you choose to capture one, will eventually evolve into Hammer Edge. Both of these Pokemon were made famous by a certain trainer from their homeland.
Yep.
You want to find out more about them? Well,
Go watch Science and Magic.
Moving on to local newcomers, we have Chillamant, the relief Pokemon. They're able to create special seeds.
This looks like it would be the Chansey / Audino of the series, you know, just with Nurse Joy all the time. There was an anime
used to help
adaptation.
make medicine or other stress-relieving substances. And because of their usually calm demeanor, they're often seen a lot in Pokemon centers. This Pokemon has a unique ability called Relief. It's a useful ability during double battles because it allows the Pokemon to undo any stat debuffs during a battle.
Ooh.
It only works on
That's
the
handy.
Pokemon's ally, though, not itself.
Well, gotta
Next,
make it
we
easy
have a
somehow.
real
Ooh.
behemoth, Longosaur, the Castaway Pokemon.
What is
He
this,
looks familiar,
Tropius'
that's
brother?
because he's the evolved form of Pylosaur.
Oh, that's
evolving
what
at
that's
level
from.
28. Pokemon
Damn,
itself
it
is
really
hard to
grouse.
motivate and is often seen just crawling around its terrain.
But this thing was on a
Luckily,
beach.
it has
What was
the
it doing
ability
here?
to stretch out
It evolves
its
here?
neck,
Weird,
which
but then
it
again,
uses to capture
Crabrawler
its
into
prey from a
Crabominable.
distance. But even with that, the Pokemon is so slow, it's often mistaken for an
It's so
iceberg.
slow, it
It
makes
has a
us late.
signature
Oh wait,
move
wrong
called
universe.
Heads Up, which lets it headbutt its opponents from a distance by stretching out its neck.
Like a Mr.
This move may
Fantastic
cause
stretch or
flinching.
something.
Whew, that's a lot of Pokemon we've shown off today.
Or Luffy to be more
Hopefully that'll be it.
relevant.
We can focus on the Alchemon.
Ooh. What the heck is that?
Oh, come on! Wait a minute.
That's not the Alchemon.
That's not a Pokemon. That is an Alchemon.
Ruffaleo.
This is Ruffleo, Project
Oh.
Griffin, a Rufflet-Litleo hybrid. The attempt was to try and combine the best attributes
Oh, I
of
see.
both Pokemon.
I'm trying to think there's a Griffin
not so
Pokemon.
much.
No,
Its
they
beak
took the
is
lion and
incredibly weak, and it
confused
can't
the
even
bird
fly.
with it. Duh.
But it can glide very
I
well,
overthought.
and it often uses its claws to climb up steep terrain like this. So it seems to be right at home here, but still, that
fire
begs the
flying
question,
good
what's this
combo.
Pokemon even doing in the wild?
It's a warning for what's to come.
Ah, player. I am really sorry about that. That Ruffleo was mine, you see. I hope it didn't cause you that much trouble. I do
Why didn't you put it
apologize
back
if
in the
it got
ball?
in your way or disturbed you, but I assure you it's under control now.
Right. Now,
Say, while you're here,
knocked
can
it
I
out.
interest you in a glorious advertisement? I assure you it will make everything better.
yeah, an ad. That'll make everything better. Yeah.
Hey you! Do you like things that are fun?
Naturally.
Well, let me introduce you to the best mobile game of all
Oh,
time.
you did-
Raid Shadow Legends.
Fuck you, S-Code.
In this awesome
Fuck you.
mobile
That's
game,
not
you
even
can-
funny. That cut though was
Professor
funny.
Nicholas. Oh, Miss Oswald. Pleasure to see you again. Tell me, my dear, how?
That's
can
how
I
you
assist
know he's truly evil. In case
well, I
there
was
was
wondering if I could
ever
have
any
a
doubts.
conversation with you alone. Sorry, player, was it? Could you please give us some privacy?
Of course.
Thank you,
Satan.
young trainer. I've been seeing how you're doing in this contest. I hope to get the opportunity to interview you sometime. In fact, if you ever want to talk to me yourself, here's my phone number.
You received a number.
Right, now that they're gone. About that Alchemon that I just saw. Oh, about that. Don't worry, my dear. That Ruffleo was mine. It just wandered off, out of my control. Nothing to worry about,
Right.
Professor. With all due respects, I know a rogue
That's a lot of
Pokemon
bold
or
door
useless Alchemon
dash.
when I see one. That Ruffleo wasn't yours. I should know. I've seen those things flowing around here before. Those rumors were true, weren't they? There are Alchemon being released into the wild. Alright, my dear, you got me. It appears that some trainers don't see the versatility in these revolutionary Pokemon. But fear not, we shall hunt down the trainers responsible for this and assure they never touch a single Pokemon again. As for these rogue Alchemon, well... At first I was a little concerned about them being in the wild, but considering these Ruffleo I found are actually flourishing here, maybe we should let them be. Let them be? Professor, with all due respect,
You're out of your
do you have
mind.
any idea what these Alchemon could do if they're in the wild? How they would infect the environment and the other Pokemon living here?
You destroyed the natural habitat.
We will take the necessary precautions.
You're destroying the natural habitat.
No,
you can't just include an invasive species.
You should be hitting the kill switch before this gets out of hand.
There isn't a kill switch.
Kill switch? Oh my dear, I would never dream of putting down my creations. There is no kill switch. Then, what were those necessary failsafes that you kept banging on about? How are you going to contain them?
He's
By
not.
capturing them in Pokeballs, of course.
What? You think you're gonna clear them all out?
That's it?
That's it?
Clearly not enough.
You think you can just
What if
get
they
them
start
all out of the
hunting
wild
local
just by
wildlife
putting
or
them in a
migrating out of the
Pokeball?
region? Or poachers grab them and ship them overseas?
What kind of a
What
scientist
if
are
other
you?
organizations get a hold of them and experiment on them? Most of your rulings would be redundant by... No, my turn to speak. You talk too much. I assure you, dear, this is under control.
This is
Everything
some
that you just said
Akihiro
could be
Kayaba
100%
from Sword Art Online
justified.
abridged level of
Then
thinking.
justify it! In fact, no, even better.
And I say abridged because at least
Justify
there's a
why I shouldn't
justification
report
for it,
your
as opposed to the
incompetence
original
the
where
rest of
there's
the
nothing.
world. Alright then, I will. Alright, here we are. The rogue Alchemon should be around here somewhere.
The hell is that
We should
lifting
thank
to the
Sarah for
sky?
helping maintain our cover
Batman
later.
Beyond?
In the meantime, however, we'll have to search around
that
this place
Pokemon,
for
maybe?
clues in order to find this Alchemon. If we do, we
Some
can
of all
find
the
things like
gas and
claw
stuff.
marks in the ice, and peculiar feathers preserved in the snow. Eventually, though, we will be able to find its resting spot. And if we do, prepare to clip some wings, because I'm pretty sure you can tell by now what we're dealing with today.
Yeah, Pyroar Braviary fusion. Here it comes. Braviary.
Introducing
Braviroar.
Braviroar, Project
Cool name.
Griffin. One of the few Alchemon that's
So
actually
this is
pretty
Project
decent.
Griffin.
Sure, it can't fly, and its beak is pretty weak compared to a Pyroar's bite, but it's still fairly strong. This Pokemon's
A
claws are capable
Griffin
of ripping
is
through
cool,
solid
just in
steel.
general. Like, and
And
I don't
despite
think
not
there's any
being able
Griffin
to fly, it
Pokemon
puts
yet.
its wings to good use. If it's
Correct me
not
if I'm
charging
wrong,
at
of
you and
course.
attempting to sweep you off your feet with a wing attack, it will climb up these steep cliffs and then lunge at you from above.
There's over
You
thousands of
can
these
throw
things,
your
I can't keep
Pokemon
track
at
of
it
them
while it's
all.
climbing the cliffs and catch it off guard, but it will later cover itself with fire to protect itself,
Ooh.
making it harder for you to get an opening. Seems pretty hard to deal with, but so long as you keep your distance, you should be fine. Just keep an eye on the Pokemon at all times and wait for the perfect opening to wield its health down. This Alchemon even has a signature move called Griffin's Press, which is kind of like Flying Press.
Fair enough. We do this and we give us fly.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've dealt with the last of the rogue Alchemon. And now that Braviroar is helping us out, we'll be able to use it to climb up these steep
Oh, no,
cliffs
because you
or
rock climb.
glide through the air.
And I guess
so if you want
gliding,
to
so
explore this place a little longer,
that's kind of
this
cool.
Alchemon
Gives
is
you
perfect
some more
for it.
variety
Let's meet
in
up
how
with
you
Sarah
travel.
and see how things are going.
Because flying is cool, but gliding is also cool.
Player? Oh, a player! Player, that's you! I thought it was.
Looker.
What are you doing here? Oh, have you dealt with the last of the rogue Alchemon?
Yes.
That's great! Sarah was right. You really do have a way with Pokemon. Oh, you are brilliant, you are, player. Yes, you are.
You're such a good boy.
Hey, where is Sarah?
Yeah, you explained what happened.
Oh, I see. And she was last here, you said? Maybe after talking to Nicholas, she must have taken her business elsewhere. Strange that she
Give him
wouldn't
a piece
stay
of her
here to
mind.
grieve, though. I mean, I've known Sarah for a while.
Or Nicholas
She's always been
kidnapped her to
obsessed
make
with
her
her
some
work, but
weird
not this
hybrid.
much. She wouldn't just run off.
Because it was said that the
Especially
DNA
since
stuff
she was
works
starting
on
to appreciate you.
humans.
I hope she's
Maybe we
okay.
can get like a Percasus
Anywho,
here
I
or
just
something.
got the word on these alchemy stones and what they
Weird
really are.
fusion.
It's quite fascinating. And if those stories are true, then that means Nicholas has a power that he can't even comprehend. He has unlimited genetic power on his side. He can create whatever he wants.
He's already playing
and I'm looking
God.
forward to what he has planned for the end of this
Or
contest.
God-type Pokemon.
Oh well, there's nothing we can do about it right now. Player, keep an eye out for
It's still
Sarah
nuts
for
to me
me,
that
and
Arceus'
just continue
base
to maintain
typing
cover
without any
for the time
plates is
being.
normal. It's like, what the
I
frig
just
is
hope
normal
she's
about
alright,
God?
Wherever she's ended up. I know she's come a long way since I volunteered to recruit her, but her emotions can still get the better of her. Oh well, Alonzi, player. I hope you'll take the time to help me out with my investigations.
That's another chapter.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of the Rogue Alchemon
Really?
arc. But even so, we're still left with a few questions. Is Sarah alright? And what exactly is going on with Team Prophecy? Well, you'll have to find all of that out next time, as our journey through Revolu continues.
Not gonna lie, I thought like the ending was gonna be like a final encounter with Nicholas or something. Like, I don't know, he shows us his final forms of all the starters, and we get into one more final fight, and then take him down, and then take him to jail or something. But I guess it would make sense in the sense of, okay, this is chapter 3. Chapter 1 is most likely going to be the frickin' the league stuff, you know, the standard stuff in the Pokemon. And chapter 2, no, chapter 1 was the opener, so chapter 2 would be the league stuff. Chapter 4 would be the evil team well, the evil team plot. Let's just go with that. And then maybe there's like a bonus chapter 5 that's like the epilogue afterwards, you know, like your bonus stories and stuff like that. Team Prophecy, that was the evil team. But from what I remember, it was the league that won second place in the poll. So assuming S-Code doesn't host another poll, I imagine we're going to go down in chapter 2 next, which again is the Pokemon League arc. So we're going to get some more, you know, back to your solid standard stuff. We had our unique stuff, now it's back to your business as usual. Which, you know, nothing wrong with it. I mean, Pokemon has a formula, and it works for the majority of the time. I remember when Gen 7 was a breath of fresh air because it doesn't have gyms in it, and then after that, and now it's apparently a black sheep because it doesn't have gyms in it. I don't freaking know what's wrong with Pokemon players, or whatever. Whatever. But as for the arc itself, well done, S-Code. You told the story of a man who's gone mad with power playing God. Well, not even mad with art, just using way over his head and doesn't actually realize what he's actually doing and how messed up it actually is. And the backstory with the Mew that turned into legendary was kind of pretty cool to check out. Nicholas is a sick man, but I don't know if he's outright evil. It's just in over his head. This is a case of just being, but at the same time, it's like you should know what you're doing is wrong at some point. You can't think this is actually a benefit. And he's trying to save face and think that what he's doing is good. That's all a bunch of bullcrap. But the thing is, I kept interpreting that it's because he's actually evil and just telling us bullshit. But maybe he actually doesn't know what he's doing and is trying to save face. I made the Akihiro Kayaba up from SAO Abridged comment. But the thing is with that is that basically, for those who didn't watch SAO Abridged, basically it's a developer or programmer who got in over his head. It made a game that he wanted everyone to enjoy through a bunch of like forced deadlines and way too much crunch time. And there's a bunch of bugs in his game that cause people to like die. If you die in the game, you die in real life, and a bunch of other glitchy stuff. I'm making a very abridged version of the abridged version, but he gets in way over his head and goes crazy because of it all, and then tries to save face by saying it's all part of his plan, hoping that maybe, just maybe, this whole mess can just clear itself out and we'll all go back to normal and he can just be fine again. But it's well past that time. And of course, the characters ask Asuna asked the $1 million questions like, "Why didn't you ask for more time?" or something like that, or ask for help. And it's like, and Kayaba just responds something like, "Hey, see, that's the problem with that is it's a very legitimate question that I should have asked a long time ago," or something or maybe it was more like, "That's a very legitimate question that I wish I thought of," because sometimes you just don't think of it. He's made these Pokemon to try to better humanity, but again, it would be some evilness just in over his head. Of course, he should still go to jail for what he's done and all the freaking monsters he's created, of course. But I don't know if it was out of pure evil. But I don't know. Maybe there'd be more to be in Chapter 5. Like maybe he kidnaps her and it's like, actually, I've always wanted to do this. I'll be the new god of this world. Who's Arceus? I am the hero of Nicholas. But yeah. To sum up, good work with this S-Code Knight. You did a good job with the Alchemon fusions as well. Like, you know, the design and that stuff. Some of them did leave me guessing, mostly because I didn't know what they were. Like, you know, for the 19,000th time in this watch through, I didn't play Gen 9, so I'm like, what are you? What are you? But, you know, overall, good job. And again, like, some of them were obviously like the Flarados, and I got half of the Griffin rights, but the other half, not so much. Again, there's like 1,000 Pokemon, and I can remember every single one of them. I mean, when you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that one. But, you know, if someone just says it, you'd be like, oh right, that thing exists. Like, anyone remember Kricketune or Kecleon? Probably, but, you know, not everyone will. I wonder if in the other arcs we'll see more of them over time. Like, I know that was the main thing, that they're HM, I'm gonna go get them, of course, but people will probably be using them in battles. Like, I wonder if that would be like the gimmick, like the whole Mega Evolution in Gen 6 and Z moves and all that, and so on and so forth was in the other gens. Like, we'll probably see some of them used by actual gym leaders like that. I can't promise, of course, because I'm not S-Code Knight, as you may know. I'm American, damn it. But maybe we'll see them pull out some big aces. No, time will tell that tale. Until next time, I'm looking forward to that one. So we'll see what happens when it happens. And I'll just, you know, go back to the schedule we have now. You know, give us a week, and then I'll be here with it. Well, a week and a day, but semantics. Either way, the point is, good work, S-Code Knight, and I'm going to check it out when it comes out. Oh, and I can actually bring up the team being changed, of course, next time. So yeah, I can add that back in. So that would be good. Or maybe I'll just hold on to my team for like the finale and then binge through the series and be like, do I want that? Do I want that? Do I want that? You know, see what happens. So yeah, I'll probably just wait till the finale episode for like an epilogue thing, but we'll see. So okay, I'll start dying. Now, goodbye for real.